sure everything, a lot of it is pull play and dead disc motion. That's the bulk of those set plays. The rest of it is going to be called on the fly, and it's sets and schemes that we go into, but then there's decisions that get made on the fly. That's like what a lot of Ultimate is. I really hate absolutes when it comes to, oh, in this situation you always do this. If this is the case, you always do that. I completely disagree with that. It's not how I was coached. It's not how I see. I think we feel it play out in the game. I think it's more there's better decisions and there's worse decisions. It's all on a spectrum, and it's all determinant of the processing that you're going to be doing on the field. And I think hopefully we just get the processing speed really, really fast. Everyone see this? Yeah. Super, super quick. When we get to, I want to talk about Vert really, really shortly. Black is on offense. Red's on defense, forcing this way. Where should our reset handler go in this case? We're in the middle of the field, force flick.
Brake side, positive.
Brake side or positive. Let's just say we're in the middle of the field. Where's the most advantageous place?
Brake side,
positive brake side.
I'd say
open side 45.
Open side 45 probably.
45 back.
Makes sense, about 45 back. So even within that being an absolute, it's based on where this defender is. If this defender is tight on you, yeah, you want to be right at 45 so you have the most possible lanes open for you, right? Let's say your defender's sagging off, poaching this lane. Where does this person go?
Brake side.
Fucking boost it over here. And then this blues with the disc. You step around, throw it over here. Now people do shit. Got it? We're not gonna go. I'm not gonna spend like tons of time going over stuff because like a lot of this is basic. I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page at least with what we do in these situations. Let's say we get closer to this side. Where should the reset be?
Brake side positive.
Brake side about step up this way. Cool. Is this reset thrower initiated or cutter initiated? Thrower initiated. This person goes to throw it around, marks really good. What happens next? Up the fucking line. What happens next? Fill. Perfect. Okay. So we say that. We all know that. We get into a game and what happens?
What the fuck?
Yeah. So what I want to happen is, again, on defense, we're really good at talking. On offense, we need to do the exact same thing. And it'll be easier in a tournament setting where no one has to. We're not playing both sides of the disc. But I want this person, if this person's looking like they're a little bit far off to be the fill, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is maybe the stack is drifted this way. Maybe this fill is so far out of place they're not going to be helpful. Someone in the fucking stack tell them that. Don't move closer. So let's just keep the talk up on offense. Let's look at this other side here. Let's say they have the disc here, and maybe it's like a flat mark. What happens to our reset in this situation? Where should they be? Maybe a little more even. What if this offender here is trying to like manually poach this lane? What do? Don't even fucking look upfield. Get it away. What if it's the exact opposite? What if they're like really forcing them up line here, really tight into the flat space? What do we do? Clear. Cut. I would say cut as the clear. Yeah, make it a real cut. And then what happens? Somebody fills. Most likely they have orbited, so you're going to need to make a move. Everything makes sense from a vertical stack perspective. You notice how we didn't talk about any of these fuckers. I want our people behind the disc to have the mentality in the most polite way possible. Fuck these guys. We can do this without them. We can win this 3-on-3 game and we can go 70 yards upfield with it. Make sense? What's the worst thing that these guys up here fucking name? What's the worst thing that these guys up here can do?
Not cut.
Getting that handler set.
Not cut. It could be frustrating, but again, we say fuck them. We can run it ourselves. They fuck it up for everyone else. That's probably worst case. What's the easiest? How do we see that manifest itself a lot?
Standing in the lane.
Slow clears, stack drift. Everyone kind of just, without noticing, everyone kind of follows the disc into this space, and now we start to gum up stuff.
Yeah.
Make sense? Any other just tidbits from anybody? Vert stack tips. I don't want to necessarily get into this thing of like you do this every single time in this position because that's not how the game works. We always have options.
I definitely think that people
interest, and so if there's a lot of cuts going on, just chill in the stack for a little bit, clean it up a little bit, try to make it so you can set yourself up to set the next guy up.
Play for others by either actively cutting, trying to get someone's drowning, they're getting stalled, they're drowning. So actively making moves to make sure we can bail them out, or actively making sure something we're doing is not fucking it up for someone else.
Some tryouts. Talk to your fucking friends.
Talk. What else? Anything else that kind of cover normal vert? Okay. Let's move downfield, talk to cutters. Again, this is where we fuck it up sometimes. Where's this guys go? Over here. We've got this, It's forcing flick. Let's just put these guys here. Okay. Stall 0. We just got here in the middle. Who's cutting first?
Back of the stack.
Back of the stack. Where can he go?
Anywhere. Wherever you
Anywhere he
want.
fucking wants.
Teammates, go either way.
Goes open, goes break, goes deep. Who's now the new back of the stack, no matter where they go? This person, where can they go?
Wherever that guy isn't.
Just not where the first person went. It's the only rule. Check out? Everyone good there? Any questions? The thing that I want cutters to think about is two things. Accessorizing your cut. So when you make a cut out into space and you cut here and you get pumped off, you know, we could just clear back. Totally acceptable. Challenge yourself. Find those legs to try to make another cut somewhere. Try to make a second viable cut out of your clear. Especially when you're coming brake side. If I'm coming down the brake side over here and I get looked off on the around, where should I go? Use my momentum. This is the only time I think it's okay to cut in front of the stack, because hopefully you have momentum in space. If you feel your defender on your ass, do you still make that same cut? No. Maybe not. So again, this is one of the situations, it's not a hard and fast rule. If I had separation, my thrower just couldn't get it off. I'm going to take the momentum that I have and get to this nice open space. And now look, we have more cutters, more space we can use. What's front of the stack doing this whole time?
Waiting for the reset and cleaning it up.
All right, let's get say yours again. Stack discipline. Stack discipline. Everyone should be using this as a bit of a field marshal here. What else? I heard a couple other good things.
Waiting for the reset.
Waiting for the reset. I would say even take it a step further and say you are actively anticipating that you're about to have to go fucking get the disc. I think sometimes at the front of the stack we get a little. We're watching the thrower. We're kind of flat foot. We're like, they have a reset and they have cuts. Cool. I'm here just in case. And like, we're flat foot. From stall 1, you need to be ready to fill in space. A lot of the time, where does the poach defense come from?
Front of the stack.
Front of the fucking stack. Who needs to respond to that really aggressively and quickly?
Front of the stack.
Awesome. The one thing I will say about front of the stack as far as positioning goes, my preference is, especially when we are in the middle third, really maybe even the middle 50%, if you want to make this even bigger, take one full step into the lane. Why do we do that? Easier fucking brake side. You just can't cover everything. That's all it is. Scotty.
So for cutter,
yes.
Switching gears, where do you want us to finish our cut? Do you want us clearing in front of the stack for that third option, or do you want us just kind of scramble the two?
My preference is from a brake side cut, you continue it into curl. If you feel like they're on your ass, try not to cut off the one in the stack. This is always kind of that cutoff space. We want to make sure that this front of the stack has lots of real estate to operate in. Does that answer your question? And the same with the in cut. If in cut we don't get it, let's try to make a commitment. And throwers, that's on you too. If they're getting too close, they're too covered, you have to fucking tell them. Because their job is to run fucking hard this way. If you don't think they're open, you got to tell them so that they clear out. Otherwise, I might just keep fucking running. So I'm like, oh cool, he's got me still. He's going to hit me at some point, and we'll just get it, we'll reset the count, you know, right here, no big deal. But if you don't tell me that, all the time, if you pump me, if I get all the way to here, and then you pump me off, whose fault is that? Probably the thrower, right? Okay. What else? Anything else on vert?
Front of the stack should always be talking to the rest of the stack, letting them know when to push back or when they're getting too deep, letting them know what they're supposed to be doing.
You got it. All right. That's an end zone.
I got one more.
Do it.
I thought they did it in Utah with a.
Listen to Thad.
The brake side, who's got priority for the continuation time?
Great question. What I would normally say is if the reset happens in the same third, so if the, let's say disc is over here, reset happens back here, we're in the same third, priority for the fill needs to be from the front of the stack. If we're able to get momentum and we're able to cross over thirds, I would like for the back of the stack to be able to recognize that and take advantage of the space in the yards and the motion. Go for it.
That being said, if both cut, the back of the stack needs to recognize and get out.
Yes.
The front of the stack's going to have priority there.
Great point. This is a lot of like trickle down decisions happen really quickly, because what happens when we get this momentum? It's a game. It's a meta game. Like, everyone knows inherently how the game is supposed to play. We know where the disc is going to go. So defenses play a little bit predictively. When we have that in cut on this side, on the break side, to continue that motion, what happens? Defenses kind of suck into it a little bit. What do? We then re-attack this space. It opens up a lot of cutters back on the open side, and then we just re-attack. Let's go end zone real quick, unless anyone has any other talking points. Cool. All right, end zone. What's different?
Front of the stack.
Goes from the front. Why do we do that?
Because it's shorter distance.
It's fucking easier. All right. This is what I want to see more of. Two important things. Somebody at the very, very back. And then whoever is this number 2 here, giving a little bit of extra space. We want to have a little bit more real estate here, keeping the poacher just a little bit out of it. So this is probably 6 yards of space right here that we want to be able to make sure we give this one in the stack to work with. Where do they set up, if at all possible?
Center.
Maybe a pinch open. Why? Easier fucking break. Otherwise, it's the same motion in the backfield. Instead of giving the reset, a count or 2 to get open, we're going to focus our energy on the front of the stack. We're going to give them a count or 2, 1 or 2 moves to get out. Where do they clear? Back of the stack. Where do they look when they're clearing? At the fucking disc. Because what's this defender want to do every single time?
Poach.
What's the most important thing for these offenders to do? Stay out of the play, and to keep who out of the play?
Their defender.
The defenders out. What we're seeing a lot, I guarantee you that we're going to encounter, is some of this nonsense in the end zone.
Fuck yeah.
Hammer.
What does this change about what we really do? Nothing. We're going to continue to control the disc with these two. We're going to look for opportunities to move the disc when we can horizontally, and then we're going to probably look to maybe include downfield a little bit more when we see strikes, so like we're playing against a zone. Any questions on offense in the end zone and Vert stack? Go for it.
If you see the defense is coaching like that, do you want the back of the stack to make a break for one of the back corners?
Yeah, good question. So remember how we talked about earlier how the front of the stack always needs to be ready to fill the spacing because they're inherently on deck in the end zone? Guess what everyone's job is? Everyone's fucking on deck. All it takes is one defender out of position in 1 second while we have momentum, or there's someone's looking the wrong way, and someone can score. If we're heads up, we get that. If we're not, we don't. Okay, cool. Handler movement on a dump is the exact same. We want to make moves either into power position, or we want to make moves behind to use the break side, just like we did before.
With the default's upline, right?
Default would be upline, yeah, because that's the scoring cone. If we take it, get it. It's the easy cone. Attack it.